What's going on, everyone? Ben here, Player.net, and I'm back again. Another budget case review, this time by way of the Raijintek Arcadia. Now, following on from the previous review of the Agos case we did for them, it'll be quite interesting to see how this one stacks up. It looks very similar, but hopefully there'll be a few differences that we'll be able to notice and point out. Starting off with the front of the box, we of course have the nice image of the Arcadia itself. And of course we can see the nice little 3D text here, and of course the Raijintek logo up top. Quickly moving around so we can go ahead and get this bad boy out. One side, nothing much going on here. Picture of the case from the back side of it. Back side of the motherboard tray, pardon me. The back of the box, we have a nice image of the Arcadia with the side panel off, giving us a little preview of what to expect inside the case. There's also a nice specification list down here so we can make sure that this case is compatible with all the hardware that we want to install in it. There's a couple bit of contact information here, info and support at raijintek.com, their website, URL, and all that fun stuff. And then moving on to the final side before we get this bad boy out, just a little image of the front, and it lets us know what color we have. So hopefully inside this box should be the white version of the Arcadia. So why don't we go ahead, I'll get the box open, get the case out, and we'll take a closer look at it. Alright, so here we have it. We've got the Arcadia out of its box. Now it's time to take a closer look about it. Now again, similar to the Agos, we have the easy to remove 5.25 inch drive bay covers here. I will say, well actually I got that one in on the first try. It was kind of easy. It's normally harder to put those back in than it is to take them out. Yeah, we can see the Raijintek logo down here, the nice little R. Moving on to the top quickly, we have room for some fans, a couple fans in there to help with the airflow. And we also have our front I/O panel here that has our power, reset, USB 2 and USB 3 inputs, and we also have a headphone and microphone jack. So that should cover the basic needs of most users. Now moving on to the side, and as you can see, the side panel, both of them are actually identical here, as we can see. They're raised out a little bit, which should help for cable management on the back side of the motherboard tray. But as far as the main side, there's no window, no extra holes for fans, so it's a bit different. We'll see how that works out for Raijintek in the long run. Moving around to the back of the case, we of course see the included fan they were nice enough to give us. There's 3 holes up here that have little metal pushy tab things for water cooling tubes if you need to route some stuff outside of the cable, because you could fit a radiator in the top of the case at least if you wanted to. We of course have our 7 expansion bays cut out for the motherboard, and again, even though it's a budget case, we have our bottom mounted PSU, so that's always nice to see. It's great that companies are taking more advantage of that, and still, even though it's a budget case, I mean, if you've got to put the cutout somewhere, does it really matter? Put it in the bottom. That's what we like to see. I'm going to go ahead real quick and get these side panels off for y'all, and we're going to take a closer look inside. Alright, so here we have it. When you get the side panels off, one of the first things you will notice is there's a nice little zip tie here holding all our screws. I don't have any scissors on me at the moment, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there, and at the end of the day it keeps it nice and safe. One of the other things is there's also a nice little plastic bag inside, which includes a nice big dust filter and a smaller one. So it's kind of good, as these are a bit thinner ones that Raijintek didn't add them on, because a lot of times they do fall off if they're not secured in there by a fan or something. But at least they're still in the box, inside the case, so that's always a good thing to see. They have included them. Taking a look around, we have 3 toolless 5.25 inch drive bays, and we kind of have a front facing SSD bay right here There's nothing really behind it except the open space, and this is kind of meant so your SSD will just show like that, so you'll be able to see your SSD on display. Down to the bottom, we of course have three 3.5-inch toolless drive bays, which figure out which way they turn. They of course got the little clips on them. You just go ahead and turn it and take it out. So those are always nice and easy. Looking at the motherboard tray, there are of course 1, 2, 3 cutouts, main cutouts. Depending on your motherboard, you may be able to make use of some of these smaller ones here. Like I said, it'll depend on your motherboard. There's a bit of a small cutout here for CPU cooler installation, so you don't have to take out the whole motherboard. But again, looking at it, it's probably going to depend on your exact motherboard, whether that'll actually work for you or not. Taking a look to the side here, there's of course a nice little cutout here that some users may be able to take advantage of for their 8 or 4-pin power connector for their motherboard. I know personally, I don't. It's going to be interesting to see if I can maybe route it around and up top. I don't know. Check back in the review to see how well it works out for me, really. We'll see. And just to get a bit better look at the cable management and stuff, we'll take a look at the back. There are some, I call them little clips here. They're just places where you can go ahead and attach zip ties to, so you can zip tie your cables like right to the side here out of the way. There's a nice big foam block there. I'm guessing that is to help prevent the side panel from getting pushed in, dinged in, or whatnot. And it also should hopefully, that's pretty solid, so it should give you a bit of an estimate on how thick you can have your cables bunched up. Obviously you probably won't want them any taller than that, because then you might run into some issues getting the side panel back on. Now, as mentioned, this is closer to a budget case, I would say. It's a bit smaller, high gloss white. It's going to be interesting to see how everything works out. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get started on the review. I'll of course take a bit more in-depth pictures, closer ups of a few things that I didn't mention in the unboxing, because I just want to get this out the way quick. And yeah, like I said, please stay tuned for the review. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.